kind of got off track on what I wanted to talk about, so let me fix this up. That noise is the neighbor's air conditioning back in the alleyway between the two houses because it's so hot. It's the only shady spot for Slim Shady over here. So anyway, yesterday, June 30th, apparently, the California legislators went crazy, ape shit on gun control laws. My son drew my attention to it, and so I wanted to make a video about that and talk about the mandates of gun control and how they demonize marijuana smokers in particular as criminals. Crazy people that shouldn't be allowed to hunt, fish, trap, or have guns. And yet, our Native Americans smoked weed, still smoke weed, still hunt, trap, and fish. It's inherent to our land. Do you know that weed grows around the world? That there's literally hundreds of races of undiscovered weed plants still on the face of the earth. Like, you go down to Amazon, I'm sure you find some killer stuff. And you might get skinned and eaten by the natives, or swallowed whole by an anaconda snake. But you know, that's all part of the risk. You know, it's a base jump with a wingsuit. There's no guarantees. You know, do what you got to do. Anyways, got this gun, God, Guns, and Rock and Roll book by Ted Nugent. Not to disparage his career or professings or leanings or opinions with my sorry, lowly self, weed, dope smoking kind of asshole. But I do agree with his stance on guns and contrary to gun control, and seeing how he is now treasurer or something, president, I don't know what, board of directors, I believe, NRA. Cool. Look, this book's got a lot of statistics that go hand in hand with this legislation that they're trying to utter in. The truth remains the same. The facts speak for themselves. Last year, and I just did a review on this, so I'm fairly fresh. I can't tell you about the year 2000. I can tell you about 2015. 2015, we had 33,000 gun deaths and/or injuries related to firearm discharging accidents, deaths, fatalities, and injuries caused by fatal use of firearms. 12 to 13,000 of them were self-inflicted gunshot wounds, suicidal. The other 20,000 were listed as crimes of homicide of some sort or another. But that doesn't really cover the bases. When you break down the figures, you find out that these mass shootings that they've defined as mass shootings, one, only have to involve 3 people or more, including the shooter himself. Don't have to have anything to do with any automatic weapons at all. And that the school shooting, the definition of what consists of a school shooting is the firearm doesn't even have to be discharged, it just has to be present on the school grounds. So a kid can bring a firearm to a school in a backpack and go through the detector and be detected and stopped right there. And that consists of one valid school shooting as they've laid it out. So you can see already how they've tremendously skewed the data in their favor. It's to anti-guns. And then they blur and muddy up the whole picture to, like, you know, where it becomes obscene. It's a dirty joke. Here's the facts. 33,000 people lost their lives to guns last year, including accidental discharge while hunting. And, you know, you got to figure how many people hunt in America. A lot. Because there's, check it out, there's over 310 million gun owners in America. There's like 330, call it 340 million Americans. There's 310 registered gun owners in America. How do they know this? Registered gun owners in America. 310 million. It's got to tell you something right there. Now all these politicians in Sacramento are shaking each other's hands. Oh, good. We can finally fuck these sorry sons of bitchin' homeless fuckers over and shoot them down in the streets like the dogs that they are. You know? Because once they cut off them food stamps, what do you think's going to happen? When 50% of the state of New Mexico's on food stamps, when 50% of California, maybe it's a little less than that, call it 38%, California 33%, whatever the figure is of California's on food stamps, 50% in New Mexico is. I know that for a fact. I looked it up. Same thing with these facts about the 33,000 deaths in America last year related to and or caused by firearm discharge, including the 12 or 13,000 would put a gun to their own head and blew their own brains out. Also included in there is the suicide by cop, of which there was like something on the order of 600 cases last year in America, a little over 600, call it 666, just to be facetious. Cases of cop shooting nigger, handcuffed with hands behind his back, in the back, while he's unarmed. At a bus station, downtown LA, up in Oakland, wherever. It's happened a couple times here in California. In Riverside, sleeping in the back of a car, waiting for the food stamp office to open in the morning. Whatever the hell it is. So that's what we got going on in California, not to mention that they like to give Ted Nugent tickets when he comes out here to hunt his pigs or whatever, because he's a bad boy and he baits like they don't. They're baiting you right now. What do you think this internet is? That's a big cop, fuck you, stroke me situation where Mark Zuck on it is working for the CIA up in Palo Alto. And you know, Face Crook is developing facial recognition software systems so they could further promote their Nazi state of hellholism here in California, where everybody's disarmed, and get to take it up the ass with the 555-foot Washington Monument and a queer agenda of fuck you, Pasadena can't drive 55. You won't be able to drive at all once they ban automobiles. Did you know 33,000 people were killed on our nation's highways last year? Ironically, the same amount that was killed with firearms. But nobody's crying murder on cars. Nobody's going to Washington trying to pass legislation in the California Assembly to stop the highway deaths. 33,000 last year, same amount as what was killed by guns. The only difference is I doubt there was 12 or 13,000 people in automobiles that drove their fucking automobiles off the fucking cliffs of life. Although they could have. They might have, just with a credit card. Can't take it no more. You know. Watch out, Ed. We're coming to get you. You know, I'm tired of people trying to run me over with their cars and their big wheeled trucks off my bike. And I told these people, I says, you know, I got you come at me with your vehicle. That's felonious assault with deadly intent. You have the intent to murder me, to kill me, to run me over and kill me, or cause seriously body injury to me. I have the right to use up to and including deadly force to take you the fuck out by law. You know, in other words, if I had a law's rocket, I would have every right to aim it at your fucking black and white raised up elevated 4x4 shit and blow you to fucking kingdom come. And that's no shit, Ted. That's just straight up good shooting and gun control. Fucking gotcha. Booyah!